In Ubuntu, we have command line tools to manage differences between files, including finding and patching those differences. We often see this when working with multiple versions of documents and source code. In this video, I'll demonstrate the basics of diff and a few of its common options. So the first two files we're going to compare are called 1.txt and 2.txt. So this is the contents of 1, and here the contents of 2. You could probably see right away that there's only 4 lines in this file and 5 in this one, and there's a few word changes. Now, instead of visually inspecting this and trying to find those differences, we're just going to use diff, give it our files 1.txt and 2.txt, and we see the output. So we're going to step through and figure out what's going on. So this is kind of a code to tell us where those changes are and what we should do to patch 1.txt with the changes found in 2.txt. So this tells us that lines 1 and 2 should be changed to lines 1 and 2 in file 2. So these less than symbols point to the left-hand side arguments, so the first argument, 1.txt, so it's saying that these two lines are different from file 2, and in file 2, here are the two lines that you should patch lines 1 and 2 in 1.txt. It's kind of a mouthful. Okay, the next one's a little easier. It's saying that, okay, line 4 is different than line 4 in the second file, and that we should patch line 4 with lines 4 and 5 from file 2. So it's fairly straightforward. Now the C is not the only code we could get. I have a few more files, a few more things to demonstrate. If we look at 3.txt that I've created and 4.txt, now you can see right away that there are 5 lines in this file and 4 lines again in the first file. So 3.txt has 1 fewer line. Now if we want to find out the diff, 3.txt, 4.txt, it tells us that this is the only difference. So there's only one difference, and it wants us to append this line from 4.txt, append it after line 3 in 3.txt. So the A stands for add or append. So it's saying add line 4 from 4.txt after line 3 from 3.txt. And that will apply that patch so that 3.txt has the changes from 4. Now there's one more I'd like to look at. So 5.txt and 6.txt. Now the difference here is this line, so the first line here does not exist in 6. So this one, 5.txt, went a little bit too far. So there's this empty line and then the first line of the next paragraph. Now if we do a diff 5.txt, 6.txt, it's saying that we should delete lines 6 and 7 from 5.txt so that everything matches up at line 5 from 6.txt. So the D stands for delete. So we just need to delete these 2 lines and everything will be the same. Now the cool thing here is that we can do diff 5.txt and 6.txt, and we can output this to a file. So this is to redirect it to a file. We call this patch info, and then I can do patch command, which comes in the same diffutils package as diff. We can specify the file. So this is the original file, 5.txt. The input is the patch info, and -o. For output, we can say, let's call this updated.txt. And if we look at updated.txt, it applied the patches to 5, which is different, 5.txt. So what it did was apply this delete difference that we've put into patch info, and the result is a file that used 5.txt and applied this patch. This can be very useful when working with multiple versions of source code when you want to apply multiple patches from many different sources. And that'll conclude this introduction to the basic use of the diff utils.